Hi, welcome to Broken Quiver Hunting. Today, for our tip 5, is taking care of your bow. For one, it's always wise that when you're done shooting your bow, check your limbs, make sure there ain't no cracks in them, check your lower cams to make sure that they're not bent, that they still are straight. Alright? And of course, you do the same thing with your top limbs. You want to check them, make sure there ain't no gashes in them, make sure that there ain't no cracks. And you do the same thing with your top cam. You want to make sure that it's still straight and that your strings are still within the grooves that are here. And you want to run your finger over it to make sure you ain't feeling those sharp edges or anything like that. Because sharp edges can cut into your string and destroy it, and if you go to pull it back, you can end up snapping the string, resulting in a massive dry fire, which can cause you to get hurt and or cost you time in the field, because now you got to replace your bow because you probably shattered a limb, and that's something you don't want to do. All right, so once that's done and you see that everything's okay, make sure your stabilizer's tight, make sure your sights are nice and tight, make sure that your air arrest is functioning. Once you find that out, then it comes down to the final thing, and that is you get to tip it over. Your knees actually play for a pretty decent little vice for it. You got to hold your knees a little bit close together. Then you want to get some boning Tex-type bowstring wax. Don't have to be by boning. It can pretty much be by anybody, as long as it's bowstring wax. Let's get that pushed up a little bit. Now, when you go to wax your strings, do not wax your servings. Those there do not need it. Do not wax your D-loop. But now, however, the rest of this, put it on there pretty liberally, like right there. Put them on right here. Then you want to take your fingers and rub that vigorously. Me, I like doing it till it gets really warm. Because when it gets really warm, it's melting that wax and pushing it into them strings, giving them new life. You got a small part of string right here. Right here you got a serving that goes over my stop, my string stop. Now come up here, do the same thing. Rub that in there nice and good. Okay, that's starting to get too warm. Take a little bit, put it on the top part of it. Remember, do not do the servings. The servings don't need it. However, when I first started doing it, I was doing servings, I was doing my D-loop, I was doing my drawstring right here for my air arrest. I was doing anything that had a string. Didn't matter. It was getting done. Do the same thing up here, just don't do the servings. Couple little slaps on there. Get down here below the serving. Smack up that string. And then rub her in. It's basically just like whenever you get in the shower, and you shampoo your head. You shampoo, you rinse, and repeat. Now you're probably thinking, well, if I have to do this, how often should I have to wax my bowstrings? Well, this bow I've had for just a little over a year already now. And I've already waxed it about 5 times. And I normally wax mine after about every 100 shots, after 100 arrows, or 150 arrows, just all depends. So, yeah, I have put a lot of arrows through this here bow already. A lot of them. You know, it's just something I love to do. I love shooting my bow. I don't find no greater pleasure in life, well, other than my wife, you know, than shooting a bow. You know, you get angry, especially at your wife, or if she's pissed off at you, well then, what's a great thing to do? Grab your bow and go for a walk. You know, get out there, release some tension, shoot your bow. Then, guess what? You have a happier relationship because, well, your wife ain't clocking you in the head with the skillet. Or with the rolling pin. Or with the dog. All depends on the mood she's in. And trust me, I have a habit where I can sit there and I can trigger somebody real quick. I'm good at it. I can just open my mouth and have people already reeing. Yeah, you know, and that's no lie. I can tick somebody off quick. You know, I get under people's skin like a long-tailed cat inside a room full of rocking chairs. If any of you know the meaning of that, then, yeah, you know how I can affect somebody. Most of the time, it ain't for the good. But hey, everybody can change. And like Led Zeppelin says from their album Coda, your time is gonna come. You know? Yeah, I'm an old school rock and roll head. But this is all you do. Just rub it briskly, get it nice and warm. That way it melts into there. Wax your strings after every 100 to 150 shots. It all depends on, you know, what you choose to do. But definitely, at the bare minimum, after every 100 shots. This here will refresh your strings and keep them newer and keep them lasting longer. These here are the original strings that I got with this here bow. So these strings have lasted a good long minute. And normally by now, I've already probably spent about $200-300 replacing strings because I normally go through them. And that's another little side tip for you that I'm about to hit you with. And hopefully, you'll sit there and take care of that by doing it. Because it's a tip that is very needy and makes a person more self-efficient in archery. And that is, when you do get a brand new set of bowstrings, alright, buy yourself a brand new peep and have it put on that brand new set of bowstrings. have yourself a brand new D-loop put on that bow strings. And the bowstring and cables that come off of your bow, have them put them inside a package and give them back to you. Especially if they're still in good condition. And here's the reason for that. Now when you do that, no matter what, if something happens to them new cables, that new string, then instead of going and spending another $125 to $300, $500, whatever on a new string and cable system, you've already got it. You got the exact size that you need. It's already stretched out for your bow. Okay, that saves you money till you can save up the money and get another set. Then when you get another set, what do? Take the old ones, put them right back in there. So that this way you got them for a later date. Now remember, if you like what you're seeing here at Broken Quiver Hunting, give us a like. Hit that subscription. Hit that notification. And leave us a comment. If there's something you want to see, let me know. If you don't speak up, can't hear you. Okay? Like my grandma used to always say, closed mouth goes hungry. If you don't open your mouth, no one can feed you. Have you ever noticed in wildlife that little birds, there'll be 3 or 4 of them inside the nest, and the mother comes back and she's got the food in her face, and that littlest one that's always yelling and chirping out the most, that's the one she feeds first. You know why? She don't want to hear them bitching. She's getting tired of them. She can't wait till it goes out on the limb so she can slap it in the butt with her wing to make it fly. She wants it out of the nest. But now, I don't want y'all out of the nest. I want y'all in it. I want you watching the videos. I want you subscribing. I want you to like it. Okay? Now, that's 2 tips in 1. Always check your bows. Make sure that the limbs are good. Make sure the screws are tight. And for that, if you don't know too much about it, take it into your local bow shop. Get it checked over professionally. Get it tuned. Get the timing down. All right, get them to do it. They got the machinery, you know, the bow presses. They got the proper tools. This way you ain't stripping out none of your parts. Because you don't want to do that. Stripping them out, that's going to cost you a ton of money. You know, to get a new cam, if you stretch it out, strip it out, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you more than a brand new pair of strings. And that's crazy, especially if your bow is now obsolete. You're going to play heck to try to find a set of cams or a new cam or anything like that. So it's best, if you don't know what you're doing, take it into a shop. Take it into your local bow shop. Have them give it the once-over. All right? And now when you do it, most of the bow shops, you take it in, you just say, okay, I just need you to look at it. And you don't tell them specifically what it is that you want them to look at. They're just going to go, yes, it is a bow. Okay? You don't want them to do that. Tell them, hey, I want my timing checked. Can you check my timing? Okay? Can you make sure that it's still at, say, 70-pound bow? Is it still set at 70? I need it back at that Can you set it factory and get it back to 70 pounds? Can you make sure that the timing's set? Can you make sure that my limbs are not cracked or splintered or anything like that? And can you put new strings, new cables on it? Can you, check my can you check my sight? You know, if you got a triaxial sight, you know, that takes 3 different sections where you'll have to, you know, have that all leveled out and everything else. You know, you might want to have them check that for you, all right, to get that done. Put down a list. Make a list of things that you want them to check. Because if you take it out and say, hey, can you give it the once over? Then you're stuck in the middle going, oh yeah, they looked at it, they checked it out, they said it was fine. Well, yeah, they did look at it. It's a bow. Yeah, it's fine. Ain't no dents, no breaks, no nothing. You're good. That's because you didn't give them specific items that you want them to take care of. All right? So actually, there's a 3rd tip within the 5th tip. Okay? About checking your limbs, waxing your strings, taking it in for a once over, and making a list. All right? You got to play Santa Claus. You got to make that list, check it twice, take it in to make sure they get the job done. And that they get it done right. Because some places, they're just lazy. And if you got a lazy bow shop, it's time to find another one. If they ain't there to give you the proper customer service that you deserve for your bow, then they do not deserve your business. Until next time, this is the Broken Quiver Hunting, and we'll see you later. But first, God bless this here great nation of ours, the United States of America. May God bless each and every single one of y'all. God bless Israel. And God bless the men and women who serve these great United States with their lives and their souls. See ya.